Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let me make sure this is broadcasting, and then we will jump right in. I think today is going to be my last bike ride for 2025. It's going to get up to 45 degrees here in the Washington, D.C. area, and I'm going to go out and brave it and hit the trail and try to burn some calories and be in nature one more time for 2025. Let me see who my first commenter is. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate this. Let's see who we have. Is it Cynical Optimist? Is it somebody else? It's Cynical Optimist. Cynical Optimist. I have to get a drop for you, similar to the one that I have for the ones that I have for Aquateki. All right, let me play the intro and let's jump right in. Today we're talking about the intermingling of biology and technology, so that this nameless protagonist intro fits very well. So I'm thinking about what you're saying, and I think this is the significance of when you say the technology is running so far out ahead of the biology, right? Because it's almost shattering that part of our natural um, programming.
So what's going on, what that really talks to is the reason why it's done that way is our systems operate on a seniority based modality. So the older the particular system we've adopted, the more powerful that neurological pathway and impulse. That's why these studies are critical. Everything in our biology is predicated on these kinds of principles. The reasons why we were able to evolve as a group, because there were certain things that we were able to lean on from the group aggregate existence that allows for us to do things as individuals that are defined as healthy. And when you begin to do wholesale swapping out on a one for one of social modality versus technological introduction, then you begin to atrophy a lot of these things and you start having deficiencies in ways you had no idea, or you get unintended emergent behavior, as we're seeing with the behavioral sinks, for example. It's all connected to social roles, in my subjective opinion.
Welcome to Big Discussions 76, Science and Technology. Science and technology stories are all around us, and there are always science and technology stories to tell.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Big Discussions 76, Science and Technology. I haven't stringed over here. Let me slow down. I haven't stringed over here probably in about 2 to 3 weeks. Things have been just been that busy. The holiday season is here. There are family commitments and there are all kinds of things going on. So I just haven't had time, but I wanted to get back and do something. And I'll probably, before 2026 comes, I'll probably squeeze in one more. And I was just talking with a relative last night, and maybe the last stream will be about surrogate pregnancies. Things have a way of hopping on your plate. People have a way of pushing things into your ether. And maybe we'll finish up 2025 by talking about surrogate pregnancies, paying a woman to incubate your seed, and then you taking the seed and raising it yourself. Okay. And there's a story behind all of this, as is always the case with the concepts and the topic areas that I present. There's always a backstory, or should I say, there's usually a backstory. Cynical Optimist, thank you for being the first one in. AB Media, thank you for being here. Uh, well, okay, I won't say that. Everybody, so today's topic is what are the dangers of social media filters? This one, as many are, was inspired by the Passport OG. So I'm going to show a Passport OG masterpiece At the end of the stream, I'm going to front it with something from a book that I read that I presented to you all before, The Anxious Generation. But before we get to that, I'm wearing a little surprise here. I'm wearing some merch for my brother Amal Dunbar. He's been here before, and he's here again today. So we're gonna talk about this T-shirt, and we're gonna talk about another African American inventor before I get to my main event. Shout out to Dr. Thunders. Let me bring up my brother Amal, and he's going to tell us about what he's going to tell us about today. So, good morning.
Good morning, bro. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, so this morning, if you can pull up the AI art posts I did of Shirley Jackson, that would be wonderful. And we will discuss her significant contributions. And then afterwards, we will, yes, thank you. And afterwards, we will discuss some of the merchandise. As you can see, or as with most of the inventors that we have discussed in the past, they made their contributions in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. But as you can see from this picture here, this is an actual photo of Dr. Shirley Jackson. As I said in the past, pictures of Black American inventors were not documented properly, and so there are several pictures of Black American inventors from the late 1800s and the early 1900s that are not actually who they say that they're supposed to be. But this is an actual photo of Dr. Shirley Jackson, and I will give you some brief information on her. She is an American physicist who received her PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1973. That's the year before I was born. Okay, just to give you some, just to give you guys some context. Actually, that's 3 years before Dr. Dunbar was born. So Dr. Jackson was the first African American woman to earn a doctorate in nuclear physics at MIT. In addition to her lengthy list of academic achievements, she also has an impressive number of inventions under her belt. Primarily, her experiments with theoretical physics paved the way for numerous developments in the telecommunication space, including the touch-tone telephone, the portable fax, caller ID, call waiting, and the fiber optic cable. These are all significant inventions and products that we've used in the modern era. Nowadays, most of our communication products are wireless, but before collectively, globally, we were able to get to much of this wireless technology that we're using now. There were such thing, fiber optic cable was needed for telephone and fax communications to point A to point B. And so today, and I should double check this, but Dr. Shirley Jackson is the 18th president of the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute of Technology in Troy, New York. And so, bro, if you can just click through some of the AI art, and then we can discuss discuss some of the merchandise.
Okay, I think there are two here.
Okay. Yeah. Some of the if I recall, the AI art apps that I was using struggled a little bit to make, you know, brilliant. It struggled a little bit to make images that were suitable for, you know, Dr. Jackson's contributions. But I will say that um, not only did Dr. Jackson's contributions, you know, help push forward modern day communications. Imagine the a number of jobs that her products helped to create. I'm sure that they were factories built and supply chains had to be set up, and employees hired to develop all of these products. I mean, if you think about the touch-tone telephone, fax, caller ID technology, call waiting, and the production of fiber optic cable, imagine how many hundreds of thousands of jobs all of that created. Okay. You know, I'm sure those jobs help to keep people, you know, paying their bills, supporting their families, depending upon where these factories were, and you know where all of these products were assembled and just distributed to retail stores. So shout out to Dr. Shirley Jackson for all of her contributions for telecommunications.
Okay, does that conclude this particular highlight?
Yeah, I mean, for this particular, you know, FBA inventor, this Black American inventor, yes, bro, it's pretty brief,
Okay.
pretty brief.
I mean, stop
But
share.
I do have some of the first examples of the Black American inventor merch that I've been working on, and you're actually wearing the Elijah McCoy. You're actually wearing the Elijah McCoy uh, white tee with the image with the AI art on the front, and his contributions in terms of the self lubricating engine. Um, this tee is just has the information and art on the front. Okay. And so I've got another one here of this tee has a front and back. It has information about Alice Parker, Alice H. Parker, who created natural gas central heating. So it's got the information and the AI art on the front. And I did an additional Elijah McCoy, uh, you know, AI art and info on the back. So, you know, I will make the information on how to get these products, you know, on your platform soon. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, you know, you can rock this merch in the very near future.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Froze for a moment there.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for making these. So more information is forthcoming in the near future.
Absolutely. I'll have to figure out some sort of a store, whether that be on Amazon or Etsy. But yeah, so I'm entering into a retail space, and I have a lot to figure out and set. So it's been me, and this is just getting.
Okay. Just to yeah, show the importance of you're on the right track with this Elijah McCoy. Someone left a comment uh relating to another video, and it surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but it related to Elijah McCoy. Let me show this and read it. When you have a library of videos, sometimes people go back and look in your library and you forget that you made it. So this is related to the video I called Robotics, a Powerful Educational Tool. And then Matthew PW3CR said, that caller is correct. Even 4 years later, you don't hear of companies firing people because they no longer need humans to write code. So there are things that computers cannot do. It's a tool, like you said in the article, but just because the caller doesn't think robots should be used in law enforcement does not mean that they won't be. Give it 5 more years and you will see robots patrolling the streets. An example of a robot that does not need human interaction would be the invention invented by Elijah McCoy. The machine would lubricate an engine when the engine needed to be lubricated, eliminating the need for engines to be lubricated by humans every few miles or so. Maybe someone will invent something that will allow robots to be free of human maintenance. AI. McCoy was the first inventor of AI. I never thought about that. I never looked at it that way. So,
Wow.
all right. Yeah,
Wow.
the first inventor of
Okay.
AI. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Bro, do you have anything else you want to say to the audience?
Very cool.
Okay. You have anything else
No,
you want to say?
bro. Thank you for sharing your platform. Well, bro, some of your audio has been coming in and out, so hopefully I'm responding properly. But thank you for sharing thank you for sharing your platform, and there, there's more merch on the way, and all that information will be ready. So, bro, maybe there are some issues on my end with my Wi-Fi, and so I should probably just step back and let you continue on with your show.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right. So look out for more merch like this. All right. All right. So guys, so those of you who are here, so okay, let's go. So we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about the dangers of social media filters, and I think that my nameless protagonist introduction there, nameless is interested in, and I am also, transhumanism and what role the technology is having on our biology. And last night I was having dinner with a relative from the boomer generation, and the conversation naturally went into what the current presidential administration is doing with voting rights and repealing John Lewis's work and that type of thing. But I it wasn't a conversation that I wanted to have, and so I asked the question, well, what's happening with the genders? Okay, are there going to be any black people left? Are there going to be any because we are in a quote unquote birth rate crisis? So there's something happening with the genders, and in this particular instance, how is the technology influencing that and impacting that. Can you guys hear me? My brother said something about connection. I think it was on his end, but can the audience, can you guys hear me loud and clear before I go on? You can give me a 1, you could say yes, thumbs up, whatever. Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Oh boy, this guy is here. Well, T Riddler, since you're here, can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me? Sound check, mic check. All right, T Riddler has given us the thumbs up. So let's go ahead and go. All right. So filters, Passport OG. Well, all of his videos are great, but he made a video entitled "Is Social Media Changing How We See Ourselves?" And I think it's been known for a while that the answer is yes, at least for the side that uses it and doctors up their pictures and puts on all kinds of disguises and dog ears and dog noses and dog ears and airbrush filters and all those kinds of things. So I think the answer is yes. So we're going to look at Passport OG's video. I suspect he might wander in here at some point, but I'm going to front it with a book I read over the last year, and I read, I gather information, and I was interested in this book, The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. I think I've mentioned it to you guys here before. I've read this book, and what this book deals with, well, I'll just read the lower caption right there: how the great rewiring of childhood is causing epidemic of mental illness. So even with all the political stuff going on and worrying about the Voting Rights Act and being able to give water to people standing in voting lines, there are all these other things going on, and not everybody is privy to the same information. Not everybody knows all this stuff is going on. So the basic premise of this book is that up until about 2010, 2012, there was a great rewiring. So children, with the advent of smartphones and social media, children started having a phone-based childhood instead of a play-based childhood. One other interesting note, since this is a topic of the day, the concern over men and boys that's being talked about most notably by Scott Galloway. Jonathan Haidt points out that boys and men in this country started declining in the 1980s. So we're focused on this now, but this whole thing is started happening in the 1980s. All right. So, but he did in this book, he did note that social media, it impacts the genders differently. He focused on young men and young women, but also the argument could be made that this applies to adults as well. I think we've all seen that. So let's see. What does he say in this book? He says that boys and men tend to disappear into it. That's the concern that Scott Galloway has been voicing. Boys get on there, men get on there, and they game and they play for hours and hours and hours. They consume YouTube and Twitch and those kinds of things. But he noted that girls get on and they hyper consume Instagram. Okay, they hyper consume Instagram and they become very enamored. Maybe the better word is obsessed with their image and the image of other ladies, other girls, other females. They start looking around and saying, okay, well, I don't look as good as her, or I'm not as pretty as her, or I'm not so pretty in my natural state. So what we've seen is the emergence of these filters, okay? And that is the ability to modify one's image, to beautify one's self in this instance, to cover up wrinkles, to uh, add more smoothness to the skin, to make oneself look more angelic and gorgeous, more like a movie star. Okay, and one place where I think this is being used is on dating apps. Okay, we hear stories and stories about seeing how someone looks seeing how someone looks on camera, and then meeting them in real person and saying, "Wait a minute, you don't look like what your picture looked like." But we often hear about people posting older pictures of themselves from years ago when they were more in shape. But we're also hearing stories now about doctored up, artificially um, artificially enhanced and altered pictures. Okay, so I'm going to read a passage from this book. Okay, and then we're going to look at Passport OG's video. Okay, so I'm going to put this. This is for whenever I stream, people want to start messaging on Facebook. And it's a hassle to get back into it, so I leave it open. Get rid of this. I'm going to read some of your comments here. Most Vet says, great topic for discussion, Doc. He says, smartphones, just like the printing press and the typewriter, are tools for communication. And then Mars23 says, and these are things foreigners/immigrants to the United States don't understand about FBA. Okay, I'm wondering what exact part you were referring to there. Okay, so I am going to put up this overlay here because Jonathan Haidt refers to this picture. This is a picture actually in the book. All right, and this is a picture of the influencer named Josephine Livin. Okay, so I can hear my mother's voice right now. Why are you putting a picture up of this white girl? Okay, to those who would wonder about that, look at the thumbnail because it's not just white girls and white women using these filters. Okay, but this is just the example from this book. I'm going to put this up and you're going to hear my voice underneath. All right. So you can see right there in the lower left corner, that's how she really looks, right? And then if you look at the other three panels, those are altered versions of how she really looks. That top corner panel right there, she almost looks like Angelina Jolie there, in my opinion. But needless to say, all three images look different than what this woman really looks like. Okay. All right. So here we go. Teens are particularly vulnerable to insecurity because their bodies and their social lives are changing so rapidly as they leave childhood. They struggle to figure out where they fit in the new prestige order for their sex. Nearly all adolescents care about how they look, especially as they begin to develop romantic interests. All know that they will be chosen or passed over based in part on their appearance, but for adolescent girls, the stakes are higher because a girl's social standing is usually more closely tied to her beauty and sex appeal than is the case for boys. Compared with boys, when girls go onto social media, they are subjected to more severe and constant judgments about their looks and their bodies, and they're confronted with beauty standards that are further out of reach. So, guys, you can agree or disagree. This does not just apply to adolescent girls. Okay. Grown women are playing these games as well. They are under the same pressures to look good, portray beauty, portray youth. Okay. So this is not just adolescent girls. Okay. I'm going to put the picture back up. You guys keep letting me know what you think as you hear my audio. All right. It was bad enough when I was growing up in the 1970s and 1980s when girls were exposed to airbrushed and later photoshopped models. But those were adult strangers. They were not a girl's competition. So what happened when most girls in a school got Instagram and Snapchat accounts and started posting carefully edited, highlighted reels of their lives and using filters and editing apps to improve their virtual beauty and online brand? Many girls' sociometers plunged because most were now below what appeared to them to be average. All around the developed world, an anxiety alarm went off in girls' minds at approximately the same time. You can see the power of filters and tuning apps in figure 6.4, in which Instagram influencer Josephine Livin demonstrates how easy it is to essentially turn a dial and morph oneself into an even more unrealistic Instagram beauty. Okay, for those in the chat and those watching, do you guys use Instagram? Okay, I think those are mostly men in the chat there. There are some very beautiful images on Instagram. A lot of video as well, but Instagram got popular for posting pictures. There are a lot of beautiful images on there. The question is, what's real? What's fake? What's doctored up? What's authentic? And is it what effect does that have when you're looking at people who look perfect but they aren't really perfect, or they don't really look like movie stars? Does it really matter? What does it do for mental health? These are all rhetorical questions. I'm going to finish this up and we'll get to the video. These tuning apps gave girls the ability to present themselves with perfect skin, fuller lips, bigger eyes, and a narrower waist, in addition to showcasing the most perfect parts of their lives. I think for those of you in the chat, who all remembers Sadia Khan? Okay, Sadia Khan. Do you guys recall Sadia Khan? I'm sure you do. For those who don't know, Sadia Khan I think she was selling herself as a therapist, a relationship therapist living in Dubai. She has a British accent. I think she's of Indian or Pakistani descent. But apparently she created a video where she altered her waistline. So she's a very beautiful woman, but the image she wanted to put out was of perfection. So someone with a very I forget the influencer's name or the content creator's name, but someone with a very, very keen eye for AI alteration and augmentation was able to spot where the video did this kind of weird thing, and you could see that she doctored up her image to make herself look more sexy and more perfect. MostVet says excessive social media usage might have an increased effect on a person's self-consciousness. Okay. Mars 23 said, talking about your intro part, not the social filters. Okay. All right. Tony is here. Thank you for being here, Tony. We're going to get to the Passport OG video shortly. I'm going to read two or three more paragraphs. I'm going to put Josephine Livin back up. Okay. These tuning apps gave girls the ability to present themselves with perfect skin, fuller lips, bigger eyes, and a narrower waist, in addition to showcasing the most perfect parts of their lives. Snapchat offered similar features through filters first released in 2015. many of which gave users full lips, petite noses, and doe eyes at the touch of a button. So I guess those are favored characteristics. Full lips. Well, yeah, I like full lips. Petite noses. Okay, and doe eyes. I'm not familiar with doe eyes. If you guys are familiar with doe eyes, let me know. You can see sociometers plunging in figure 6.5, which shows uh, the percentage of American high school seniors who said they were satisfied or completely satisfied when asked the question, how satisfied are you with yourself? The plunge happened to boys too. I'll discuss how their lives changed in the next chapter. All right, one more paragraph, and then we'll move on to the Passport OG video. Girls are especially vulnerable to harm from constant social comparison because they suffer from higher rates of one kind of perfectionism, socially prescribed perfectionism, where the person feels that they must live up to very high expectations prescribed by others or by society at large. Okay. Um, so there's no gender difference on self-oriented perfectionism where you torture yourself for failure or live up to your own very high standards. Socially prescribed perfectionism is closely related to anxiety. People who suffer from anxiety are more prone to it. Being a perfectionist also increases your anxiety because you fear the shame of public failure from everything you do. And as you'd expect by this point in the story, socially prescribed perfectionism, let me start that over. And as you'd expect by this point in the story, socially prescribed perfectionism began rising across the Anglosphere nations in the early 2010s. All right, I'll stop that there because you guys want to see Passport OG. I do too. So that's a little bit of background on this. And as we will see in his video, some countries are cracking down on the use of these filters. One question is why. Gentlemen, give me an audience, any ladies out there watching as well, give me one moment. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Maybe I was thinking I should get a song like the one Mr. Z uses where he says, all right, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Anyway, all right, let's get to the video here. Let's get rid of that. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. If anyone wants to make a donation to the channel, my information is there in the ticker. Maybe in 2026, I'll do some more personal health as well. I started doing some of that in terms of food and heart healthy foods. All right, let me turn this volume up. I think most of you have probably already seen this. If you haven't, this is the Passport OG, and I consider him to be a bit of a anthropologist. An anthropologist studies cultures, the cultures of societies present and past, and he does a really solid job of doing that. But I think he's also giving us insight into what's happening in other countries, the Asian countries in particular. And one of the things he's noted most is that the United States is falling behind. We've spent so much time on social agendas, gender engineering and diversity, that we are falling behind China in particular. So salute to Passport OG for uh, shining the magnifying glass on that. Okay, because that's going to impact all of us. Okay, is social media changing how we see ourselves? Fair use, fair use. I don't think Passport OG will copyright strike me. We use each other's content, so fair use, fair use.
To be honest, I also hope that all major platforms can cancel the beauty mode function. I think this is not good for social development, and it will set a bad aesthetic standard for our next generation.
Damn, I hate my life. I'm in the Amazon bathroom trying to be quiet about it, but one thing really made me really upset. I saw a girl and the dude playing around, like flirting and stuff like that. And it's like, damn, do I look that mother bad for me not to have nobody flirting with me? Damn.
So this video starts with this lady in the bathroom. I guess she works at Amazon, and she's feeling some kind of way about seeing uh, other female co-workers get attention from men. And she asked the question, "Do I look that bad?" I wonder if she's filtering herself here. Okay, but I think what we can glean from this is, hey, looks matter, and men are attracted to certain things, women are attracted to certain things, and she's she feels like she's not getting enough attention and enough love from her male coworkers. Fair use.
It's like half of it, I hate my life. All the dudes flirt with the other girls. Dudes really don't flirt with me, or am I? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
I'm not here to body shame or make fun of this woman. Apparently, she wanted her story out there. That's why she made this social media post. But really, the issue that's going on here is that she's just getting a taste of life for average men, or I would dare say above average men, in the age of social media and smartphones. Because now there are a plethora of options that help women enhance not only their options, but just the way that they look to the world, almost to the point where it's created an environment where so many women are so comfortable saying that most men, as in over half of men, simply aren't good looking, mostly because we don't really use these features the same way.
And that's
So one thing there, that lady in the bathroom, I mean, what's one thing she can fix? She can eat differently, and she could go work out. Okay, that would probably increase the interest that she receives from men. So those are two fixable things that she can do. But also, we just over this last decade, we also went through a body positivity movement. So we went through this embracing plus sized women thing. Accept everybody. Everybody's beautiful. Everybody looks good. So we just went through that, but maybe that's coming crashing down as well. Fair use.
Mostly because we don't really use these features the same way.
And that's the thing about these men on social media is like they really are not aware that majority of men are unattractive. Like that's why your opinion does not matter. Unattractive people cannot tell me anything. I'm sorry. Like I don't find you attractive. You're balding. Balding people definitely can't tell me anything. Like if you're balding, your opinion does. I don't care about your opinion.
有些那个人哈就说你们这些女人不都是开了美颜吗？你有本事关了美颜试试。
Some people always say, you women all turn on beauty mode. If you have the guts, then turn off the beauty mode and try. Why should I turn it off? I spent several thousand on a phone and I turn on beauty mode. It does not cost any money, and I am not using your phone to shoot. What does it have to do with you?
We need to stop dating ugly men. We're feeding into their delusion.
And you are always saying that we women turn on beauty mode, turn on filters, turn on face slimming. We are happy to turn them on.
But we got a 10-mile lake out back. Call it Lake Varnell. Yes, catfish are delicious.
Spielberg is here. Salute to the passport OG. He is here. I didn't notice this when I first watched this. You see how her whole body is moving? I don't know. Okay, this says app pretty up, so maybe she's giving a tutorial. Yeah, I think she's giving a tutorial about how to change how a woman can change how her body looks digitally. I'm going to drop the link, passport OG, when this is over, so you can give some words if you feel like it. But I think that's what this is showing us, and he's got a joke of Martin and Tommy Davidson there on the side. I'll bring this segment back.
Got a 10-mile lake out back. Call it Lake Varnell. Yes, catfish are delicious. So what I do is I'd go out back, man.
So this caption over here on the right says, when you pick her up and she looks nothing like her pics. Okay, so that's a real thing. Again, the one of the gripes you would hear about online dating, Facebook dating, is that, oh, they posted pictures from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They were thinner, they were smaller, they were less, they had more hair or whatever. But there's also this thing of doctoring up the pictures that you have, or just doctoring up the image that you have now. And so when the person sees you in real life, you don't look anything like that altered image. So this is something that's happening today.
Cast my reel, pull that out, fry it, dye it, lay it to the side, red beans and gravy. I ain't too.
Wait a minute. That lady on that white lady, was that the that older lady? Did she do this, or is this okay? I didn't see that part in the beginning. If she was able to swipe and make this fake younger persona, yeah, that's kind of jive. All right.
Lazy.
Turning on beauty mode and filters does not cost money. It is not that we cannot afford to turn them on. You do not turn it on, and you do not allow others to turn it on?
Why is every pretty girl with a horrible looking man? I don't understand. Listen, I'm not shaming people for their looks, but I am, though. You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world.
I just want to turn on beauty mode. I just want to turn on filters. I just want to turn them on.
All the dudes flirt with the other girls. Dudes really don't flirt with me, or am I? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now, Mint Mobile.
I will turn it on. I will turn it on. I will turn beauty mode up to the highest level.
I know, it's probably because the way I'm shaped. All types of stuff. But I had to go in the bathroom because I was literally about to cry.
Okay, so what did I just say a few minutes ago? What are two things she can change? She can change how she eats. She can get a little more exercise. And she had just admitted it's probably how my body looks. It's probably how I'm shaped. Okay. All right.
Nobody flirts with me. And it's sad.
The woman who works at Amazon who made the video about struggling with not being flirted with or desired in her workplace was extremely valid in her feelings, and anybody discrediting that is mean, really. Not only are you mean, you're also delusional.
I want you to hear her argument, because it's a one-sided argument. You will not hear her make this argument for all of the men that are supposedly populating the earth, because more than half of men are ugly. This is an argument specifically for young women. Listen closely.
He was expressing a very human emotion. It is unfortunate, but I feel like at different times in people's lives, they might be in a room where you're like the last pick. Dating, flirting, relationships, those are very important parts of like the human experience. To feel like nothing that you did, just the way you were born, the way you look, means that you are excluded and disqualified from that is so hard. That is a hard pill to swallow. And to express that to us, maybe in hopes of just like getting it out, there's nothing wrong with that. But some of the responses I'm seeing, just like kind of ridiculing her, it's lame. And I would love to see what y'all look like. And I would love to see y'all's roster. That's the thing. People who really get motion, who really be in the field, they never move like that.
A reason why.
Okay, so here's a reasonably attractive woman sticking up for the lady in the bathroom and saying, okay, well, every woman is beautiful. Every woman is beautiful. She's valid in feeling like she shouldn't have been left out of this whole interest thing. So she's advocating for the body positivity thing. Everyone should get a trophy. Everyone should get male attention. But does the real world work like that? And going back to technology, technology is now, these are online diaries for people and ladies in particular. All right.
A growing number of men are more and more disillusioned with modern dating is because of the glaring double standard. Everything that this woman said sounds fantastic. Ideally, it should apply to all people. But we already understand that she is speaking only about women. A man is a little ugly in the face. He's not very tall. He doesn't have his money together. He's not in shape. He has a little bit of a gut. Move out of the way, because we want to get to the guys that really matter, because the 80% of men that are ugly, you don't even count. So move out of the way.
Especially if you're a man, I really don't care about your opinion, because most of you all are not attractive at all. Boring, no personality. I wouldn't want to live your life. I wouldn't want to be your girlfriend. Wouldn't want to be your baby mama.
Brothers, let me tell you something very serious. This matter is serious to what extent? It is possible that many streamers will feel like the sky has collapsed when they hear this news. No matter whether it is male streamers or female streamers, you may ask why. Next, I will reveal a piece of news. I say it is extremely likely that our relevant authorities may no longer allow live streams to turn on beauty mode. This is real. The relevant news has already been released. Now, in certain sections of live streaming, it is already not allowed to use beauty mode. It is not ruled out that next all live streaming across the whole internet will not be allowed to turn on beauty mode.
From the Western perspective, it's very difficult to get accurate information on China because it's just not very easy. That said, it does appear that there is a conversation being had about how the smartphones are essentially lying to men, that many young women can use make.
Chloe, okay, I'm sorry for cutting off Passport OG's commentary there, but the difference between those two, that's striking.
Up, they can use filters, they can do a variety of different things, and essentially go online and show men a presentation of themselves. It's just not the truth. And on the other end of the spectrum, if you say the truth in America, you're going to get canceled.
Here's the advice for young single women who want to be married and feel as though they're being passed over. The advice is there are many things that you can do. The chief thing, of course, being trusting the Lord and making the desires of your heart known to the Lord in prayer. God, I eagerly desire to be a wife and a mother. If it be your will, would you send me a husband? That's pivotal. Being in a good local church where there are godly men, asking your father to help, talking to the elders to see if they might know of a single man who might be a compatible suitor, all those things. Here's another piece of advice, and people don't like it. This is the kind of thing that your Benjamin Glaser would lose his ever-loving mind, and everybody, this will probably get clipped out and will go viral all again, right? Run it back, right? 2 for 2. Here's another thing. Lose 20 to 30 pounds.
This is a video of a young lady that's removing filters one by one. And what you can see is that it's not just one filter, it's a series of filters, all of which make you think as the watcher that she's someone that she's not.
Now say hello to Bachelor number 3, Steve Big Bun.
This is another example of, she says, a 58-year-old auntie, and listen to the number of filters that she's removing one by one.
对了，阿姨，关掉美颜，关掉特效，给你们看一下我真实的样子，你喜不喜欢？关掉特效，关掉磨皮，关掉瘦脸，关掉大眼，关掉美白，关掉微笑，关掉瘦颧骨。关掉下颌，关掉瘦鼻，关掉小嘴，关掉口红，关掉白牙，关掉黑眼圈，关掉法令纹，这就是阿姨最真实。
Now, if you ask,
okay, that's why I say Passport OG belongs in the AFI, the American Film Institute. Let's run that back. This is priceless. Let's just run that back really quick.
A 58-year-old auntie, and listen to the number of filters that she's removing one by one.
对了，阿姨，关掉美颜，关掉特效，给你们看一下我真实的样子，你喜不喜欢？关掉特效，关掉磨皮，关掉瘦脸，关掉大眼，关掉美白，关掉微笑，关掉瘦颧骨，关掉下颌。关掉瘦鼻，关掉小嘴，关掉口红，关掉白牙，关掉黑眼圈，关掉法令纹，这就是阿姨最真实。
Now, if you ask most middle-aged men if they had a wife that they had been with for 10, 15 years, you had a couple of kids, and this was your wife without any makeup, she would probably be the most beautiful woman in the world to you. Of course, we're not allowed to really think that way anymore because modern times is on something else. But it just is the truth. Most men don't need a lot of makeup. That makeup actually seems to be a detriment to women's own ideas of themselves. Because this woman, she looks fine without all of the filters and makeup and whatnot. But does she believe that is the real problem?
That's a good point there. We often don't see ourselves the way others see us, and something my former stepfather used to tell me is that in many instances women are more insecure than men are. I didn't really understand that at a young age, but I guess when much of your worth is defined by your beauty, maybe that is a constant loop running around in the heads of females. And then most vet says she's nice looking without the filters. Actually, yeah, but I would say the nose filter, the nose, which is why people get their noses done, the nose effect. To me, that was the most striking. I mean, you could see when she took away the smoothing out her skin, obviously things started showing up, but the nose change, to me, that was the most drastic change. With that nose, she looked like a totally different person. Okay, let's finish this up. Fair use.
What you cooked today, Mama?
I made my extra crispy catfish along with honey hot catfish as you request.
Let's take a quick look at some modern day slavery, if you will.
What you cooked today, Mama?
I made my extra crispy catfish along with honey hot catfish as you request. Peach cobbler, cornbread, homemade tartar sauce.
That's homemade right there.
Yep. And
looks like somebody been dipping in this already. What else you got here?
Cheesy spaghetti, homemade coleslaw, and homemade potato salad.
It all look good, Mama. I
and
appreciate
along
it.
with my crystal hot sauce.
I can make
Pick a song from your weirdest idea.
Hold on.
Describe the song in a few words. Then pick a style.
These days, what we saw in this video is akin to modern day slavery, if you ask many young ladies. But the smile on this woman's face is real. And the truth of the matter is, if you ask most men, if you have a woman that is happy to be with you, you have children coming back from college, and she is excited to the point where she's cooking these kinds of meals, this is probably the most beautiful smile in the world for most men.
I agree. Most fat. Me too. Looking at that catfish and that potato salad and that spaghetti. And yeah, man. I just had a piece of toast. I need to. Oh boy. All right, let's keep going. We're at the end here.
A woman that you built a family with, someone that you have a life with that you can be proud of. You have children coming back home, and when you have these moments where everyone comes back together, the smile of I made food that everyone is looking forward to and everyone is excited because we have our family is the kind of catfishing that you really want. I mean, who wouldn't want to sit down to this meal and this smile and enjoy family? Of course, that is not the reality more and more these days, as many young ladies don't see any desire or need at all to appeal to anything that a man is looking for. But it is encouraging to see a conversation, at least someplace on the planet, apparently in China, about what the filters are doing, not just to men looking to these women and then finally meeting them and saying, you're not the person that you portrayed yourself as, but also to these women who spend their 20s and 30s and even into their 40s using these filters and using makeup and using body slimming apps to present themselves as something that they're not. And then when reality actually kicks in, there's no more denying it anymore. And those years that they could have spent with someone who would have appreciated their actual true beauty were taken away and denied to that guy that would have loved them as they are. These apps and these slimming features and these makeup and all of these things are taking away the opportunity for a guy to love this woman as she actually is. And that's the ultimate catfish of all. Not that women are showing a fake profile or a part of them that's not actually real, but the fact that these women are hiding their true beauty from themselves and denying a man the opportunity to love them as they actually are. And I believe that's why, at least in China, they're starting to say, if we don't do something about these young ladies pretending they're something they're not, then they're going to end up in the future by themselves and not giving a man the chance to love them as they are. It would be nice to see the same in America as well. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.
To be honest, I also hope that all major platforms can cancel the beauty mode function.
All right, everybody. Once again, salute to Passport OG. Passport OG, if you're still out there, you might have dipped in and dipped out. I will drop the link just for Passport OG. Chaos Rain likes to, you want to just drop it for him. Chaos Rain likes to come in and try to bully his way up to the stage. But I'm going to pin this. Passport OG, if you're there, you want to say a few words about this. Yeah. So the other thing, how does the technology impact the biology? Okay. So the one word I'm thinking about is artificial standards. Okay, artificial standards. So do these filters lead to overvaluing oneself and artificially requesting more? Okay, by changing one's appearance, by demanding, cash apps, by demanding financial support, on the platform. Now you'll see, if you meet the person in real life, you can see if they look like what they look like digitally, or whether or not they look like what they look like on the digital platform. But as long as you're just seeing them, online, you honestly don't know who or what you're looking at. So maybe it's a good thing for China to ban those online filters. So men and women can accurately assess one another. Okay, because I mean that's a part of our biology. We do look at each other. That's one of the first determinations that we make about each other as men and women, and is how does this person look? Do I want to wake up next to this person? Am I attracted to this person? It's not just anyone who says it's just about personality and values, and they're just blowing smoke, because the first thing you see is that's what attracts you to someone else for the most part. Okay. Kareen of House of Trades, she just entered my chat as well. Good morning, Kareen. It's always good to see you. I think Passport OG, I think he left. Okay. Which he's a busy man. He's probably working on the next masterpiece right now. So I don't want to get in the way of that. Does anyone else have any other comments or thoughts about this? Oh, he says, hold on, Doc. Passport OG. All right. So does anyone have any other thoughts about this while we wait for Passport OG to hit the link and come and give his thoughts on his latest masterpiece? Actually, that's not his latest masterpiece, because he's firing these things off daily on the daily. So if you follow him, you need to bookmark and really highlight the ones that you want to capture if you're a content creator. But does anyone else have any thoughts on this? Have you seen someone online and then become smitten with them, and then have you seen them in real person and be like, whoa, that doesn't look like that? Has that ever happened to you? I could say it's happened to me. I mean, not someone I've met on a dating app, because I haven't really explored that, but just seeing people on Facebook, seeing people on Instagram, and then seeing them in real life. Yeah, the digital image doesn't always correlate with real life. And it's surprising sometimes when you see them in real life. All right. He is here.
The echo. There we go. Am I sideways?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. That's better.
All right. No, you're not. Good morning.
How's it, Doc?
Good. How are you? Hey. After I spoke with Dr. Tia-san Johnson, I realized that I know 2 Japanese words. I know domo and I know konnichiwa. That's Japanese, right?
Konnichiwa.
Okay. Which means?
Yeah, it means hello or good morning or good afternoon.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, hey, man.
You know sayonara. Sayonara home run, right?
Okay. I didn't know that was Japanese.
You know tsunami. It's Japanese too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know 4 words.
But yeah.
In addition to the culinary words, bento.
Of
sushi.
course.
Yeah, so hey, man, another masterpiece, man. You want to talk about that?
Oh well, I think one of the unfortunate things is, I think in the last, if you hear like Rollo Tomasi, he talks about like the technology, like the pill, the no fault divorce. You have what's the other one? Pill, no fault. The getting the deletion of the children, and then those are all like rapid succession things in the last 50, 60 years, and now you have social media. So in the social media age, you have girls that are 12, 13 years old that are using filters on social media apps, and can they really tell like who they actually are versus like who they are online? So what happens if you put on a filter as, a girl who doesn't get a lot of attention, and one day you get a bunch of attention? How do you deal with that? Because you want to use that filter every day, right? Like, how do you take that filter into the real world? You can't do it. So, I mean, it really should be regulated. It just should be. I mean, the fact that they just unleashed social media onto the general public the way they did. I mean, that's rough, man, especially for young girls, because they're for what used to be a young girl that maybe be like the ugly duckling, if you will, and she blossoms. Like, she can blossom with a filter on an app. And then how does that work? So it should be regulated. We'll put it that way.
Okay, two things. I guess this might be one place where we agree with Galloway. In terms of regulating the social media and the big tech companies.
Well, I think that the scale has just made the average woman feel so awesome that she just looks down on the person that she would have matched up with 30, 40 years ago, right? I mean, if you are a little bit above average and the guy who is a little bit above average is smitten by you, I mean, you used to match, and now that guy can't even speak to you. So how does that work when you mix the whole pot together? I mean, you're a scientist. I can't call myself a scientist. I mean, I formally trained as a scientist, but I don't practice it. But just as a scientist, you look at the whole and you start wondering, what are the things that are causing these kinds of behaviors? And one of the things you think about is just an average girl can go on social media, show some flesh, like, even if she's a little overweight, she might be a 6, a 5-ish. And she just gets a flood of guys saying, "You're awesome. I want to buy you something. I want to cash app you. You're so crazy. You're amazing." And the guy that she's sitting next to in class, he may not get a compliment this year. So how does that work? Like, how did they deal with each other in the real world after that? And so it's just kind of, unfortunately, is fascinating to watch, because as a scientist, you look at it, you're like, I can understand why women are acting this way, but I also can understand that a lot of the reason why they're acting this way is because they're getting inputs that aren't real. And so, again, it just should be regulated. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah, well, I guess in a way it's what do they call it? Cosplaying. You're playing.
Yep.
You're playing somebody else. Yeah, you're.
What is it they
cosplaying.
call the people that do the real live action role playing? What they call that? Live action role play. LARPing.
LARPing.
Yeah. I mean, you're LARPing as a 7 or 8, right?
Okay. Now, so this regulating it, this is taking place is that China or Japan or Korea or?
Japan, I don't think they're really doing it, but it appears that it's happening in China. So
okay. Now, is it true? You said in the video it's difficult to get information about China out of China. Is it true that they've kind of firewalled their internet from allowing our stuff in? Is that true? I heard that years ago that they want to block out.
There is a firewall. There is a firewall. There are certain things that will get reported, certain things that don't get reported. I mean, I can't speak on how accurately things are filtered out, but I mean, it's similar to America, except, America doesn't admit it. In China, they do. But how do you get information? How do you get accurate information about China in America? That's pretty tough. So it's always going to be some kind of slant unless you can read the actual Chinese yourself. And so, if you can't do that, then you have to rely on people that want to portray something about China, slanting the news a certain way. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about the So we know that there's the beauty thing. There's the women find I think it was the Tinder data, only a certain amount of the men attractive and interesting.
right.
So there was that. One of the ladies in your video touched upon that. How about the I thought it was interesting the body positivity piece with the Amazon lady was feeling some kind of way because she wasn't getting the attention that someone more attractive did. And it's funny because the religious guy, his last point was lose 20 to 30 pounds.
And you can't say that, right? I mean, you heard him give all of those qualifiers before he said shock absorber, sandwich compliment with criticism, lose a few pounds. But I mean, if you're talking about what attracts guys on average, that's going to be a part of it, right? I mean, between presentation, your niceness, your aura, and being lighter than him. But you can't really say that anymore. And so I don't know. I think that's a reason why someone like Trump becomes so popular, is because I think people just get tired of just biting their tongue and they just want to say what they think, because it's just what most men do not want to marry a woman that's heavier than them. But if you're looking around and you're seeing not just women that are very, I don't know, out there, but they're heavier than you and they're acting like they're too good for you, it's just like, what is this? Because that's not what it used to be. So it's just, I don't know. I sometimes I look at things and I shake my head because I can't believe it. I can't believe things have changed so much since the 90s. I'm shocked by it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about Information Man. Are you familiar with Information Man?
No, I'm not.
Okay. He's an alpha. How do I define Information Man? Covers black issues. Sometimes he delves into dating. Sometimes he delves into politics. But in his community tab, he posts pictures of what people in Black America looked like in the 1940s, in the 30s, and all the men wearing suits was normal. Women wearing dresses, that was normal. Everybody was in pretty good shape too. All the ladies were small,
showing less flesh.
So
not cursing.
Yeah, not cursing. So it's a far cry from where things are now.
That's right.
On every level.
I mean, men have two levels of attraction, right? There's the kind of young lady that you wouldn't mind taking home for the night, and the kind of young lady that you wouldn't mind taking home to meet your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a plethora of women fulfilling the first category and very few fulfilling the second one, I mean, just visible tattoos. I mean, visible tattoos, like, mom's going to say something about that. Grandma's going to say something about that. So if you're going to come and you're going to meet mom and grandma and say, I got tattoos, deal with it, she's going to look at her son and say, so how do you square that circle? How do you deal with that when that's so normal now? I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Well, in terms of your own personal filter, visible tattoos, as the evaluator yourself, what is this is a rhetorical question. What does that mean to you? If you're coming upon someone and there are tattoos all over the place, that you also have to
me personally.
I'm asking. It's rhetorical for the it's a hypothetical. So you mentioned your mom and your grandmom seeing it, but as the person walking up and seeing that, do bells and whistles go off?
Yeah.
If you are a guy.
Yeah, she's a girl you have fun with. She's a fun girl. Like she's not the girl that you take to church. I mean, she's not that girl. I mean, it just is what it is. She's a girl that you have fun with on weekend, and then when it's time for you to get serious, you find someone that maybe is not as fun with the extracurricular activities, but she does the other stuff. She's going to be presentable in public. Your grandma's going to like her. She's going to help in the kitchen. Like, she's not going to complain about giving the children your last name, that stuff. So if there's not very many of those young ladies, then you don't date. I mean, so it's just, I think there's so many women with tattoos now. It's kind of like overwhelming when you look at social media. It's just, there's so many masculine presenting young ladies, and they're like, why, this is what you get. And it's like, that's not how the free market works. You don't open the free market and say, this is what I have, I'm selling it, and you better like it. Is, I hope that you like it, or I'm presenting something that I think you might like. And if it's not that, then I got to adjust what I'm selling. So again, I shake my head because there's just so many young ladies. They're so overly sexually aggressive and offering meat, and they have flesh hanging out, and they cursing, and they have tattoos, and they're so forward, and they're talking about body count. And it's like, you're not leaving anything to the imagination. It's just, you saying, it's basically saying, I have sex to offer. Now pay premium for it. And it's just, that's, sex is 4 billion men, or 4 billion men, 4 billion women. I mean, sex is, it's not that hard to find. It's just not. But hey, what do I know? What I know, I'm just a Gen Xer that remembers things before the 90s. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. AB, I'll let you up to make one point, then I have to wrap up, and I have to go. What say you?
Understood. Unfortunately, a lot of the girls in the church got them tattoos too.
Ugh.
I wish I could tell you it was different, but yeah, the slim pickings. Are there some that are good? Yes, but there a lot of the modern women we talk about, they go to church.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now.
Especially now, if you're looking for a man, you're going to church. That's the best place to go.
Yeah, it wasn't always like that, to be fair, but it's like that now. And so prevalent. I haven't been to church in almost a year. Because I just don't want to deal with the nonsense. I can't pretend it's not there anymore. I you know.
Yeah. Well, then you get into, is it a liberal progressive church, or is it something a little more orthodox, like Dr. Thunder's? But I think you're there are a lot more liberal progressive churches.
They lean more. They claim to be more conservative, but they're more liberal progressive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, I have an issue with how the black church blindly supports a certain party and doesn't call out how they're just blatantly pro-abortion. That was one of my hangups in 2024. They were one party was blatantly pro-abortion, and the black church act like it didn't exist. And I was like, no, come on.
Yeah, that's a major contradiction. I was speaking with a relative last night, and her primary concern was Trump and the Civil Rights Act, and
so she hasn't touched, but anyway.
But the possibility is he could, with a stroke of a pen, he could peel back the gains of the Civil Rights Act. But it wasn't a conversation that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
But I was compelled to bring up, well, are there going to be black people in another 10 years? And then it's like, well, what do you mean? So AB, I totally get it. That's a contradiction that I think about almost daily, especially around now, because we're all going to be having dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
And going to be sitting in on some of these conversations, and then the question is, okay, do I get involved? sometimes you're pulled in and you don't want to be pulled in. But I totally get it. I totally get it.
Well, think about this, Doc. I have never deleted a person, so I don't know what it feels like. But can you imagine the kind of demons that come along with knowing that you had a child inside of you and you chose not to have that child? And if let's say that you did it a couple of times, like that's not the kind of thing that you shake off. Like, and it's not like many of the young ladies are going to tell you. They're not going to tell you, oh yeah, by the way, when I was 22, I did one, 27, I did one, 28, I did one. They're not going to tell you that. But they are going to have to live with that. If I had that child today, he would be 10 years old. He'd be 15 years old. And now either I don't have children yet, or I'm trying to have a child real quickly, or I don't want to have children, whatever kind of trauma that goes along with that desire to either have or not have. And you're clueless. You're a guy clueless. You don't know what she's done. And so you're trying to build a relationship with a young lady, and she might have had several of these traumatic events.
Yes.
And she's not even disclosing any of that to you. So how do you go into a union with a young lady that may have, even if she had one, if she doesn't like tell you, like, I had one, it was really traumatic. I went to, I went to therapy. It was so and such happened, and I've spent 3 or 4 years trying to get over it. Will you still date me? Like, that's different from, it's none of your business. Is my body my choice?
Yes,
now, do you want to marry me or not? Because who knows, 5 years down the road, you're trying to have a child, and she's saying, I don't want to have a child because of some memory that you have no clue about. Yeah. Like, that's out there now. And we don't even know how much is out there, but it's out there. So if you're thinking about a young lady that maybe has a tattoo, maybe she got a tattoo because she's saying goodbye to that little spirit that she may have carried, and whatever that they call it, a clump of cells now. And that's her way of kind of like grieving it. You might look at that tattoo, it's like, oh, that's a little cute butterfly. And that's like, oh, no, that's a butterfly because I was in love with this guy, but I decided not to carry a child to term because it was bad timing. And you have no clue. And you're walking into a hornet's nest that you don't even know is there as a guy. So how much of that is in the system? Like, we don't know. We don't, how many of those removals have there been in the Black community in the last 30, 40 years? Just Gen Xers on down. And then you start talking about marriage and building relationships and dating. How many of those have you had? That's none of your business. What's your salary? I want to do a credit check. How many credit cards do you have? Like, they're going to ask you that. They're going to ask you about how much money you make, but you can't ask them.
Can you get my nails done? Can you get my hair done?
Yeah. But can you walk up to a young lady and in a date and say, have you ever done that before? She's going to get upset at you. But I would imagine that's as important, even maybe more important than your finances, because you can fix your finances. But if she's carrying those ghosts around with her, how do you fix that? Especially if she's of an advanced age where the chance of her having a child is getting lesser and lesser, and she knows that she may have squandered an opportunity to have children. I mean, that's, like I said, it's walking into a hornet's nest that maybe you don't even realize is there.
Yeah, it's, see, I don't want to say it's been documented, because as a scientist, I feel like I need to show proof, but it's been reported that there's trauma, there's mental trauma from having,
of course,
abortions, that the ladies carry forward. But that's the part that Madam Vice President Harris and President Biden and Governor Walz they didn't talk about. Governor Walz was very, very, men, stay out. It's none of your business what a woman talks about with her doctor. But there was no talk about what the reverberating effects for everybody would be or are for having that procedure done repeatedly.
You guys
maybe even just one time.
You guys are a little bit older than me, so maybe you have a better perspective. I have never seen a candidate push for abortion as hard as Kamala Harris, at least for president. Am I wrong about that? You guys are a little bit older, so you might.
I didn't see that either.
I've never seen a political candidate push for abortion as hard as Kamala Harris. I mean, because I watched her interviews. Almost every interview she pushed abortion. I was like, this is not normal.
Well, the thing about that, and we don't want to go too far into politics, but
okay,
it's an easy target. Like, it's an easy target. Like, it's not building any roads. It's not building any infrastructure. You're not building high-speed rail. You're not changing deficit. It's just making half of the electorate feel good about some right healthcare thing that they still get to do. And at the end of the, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not going to curse on your platform. I am tired of talking about abortion. Just put clinics in every Walmart, in every McDonald's, every gas station. Let the young ladies do whatever they want to do. And can we just talk about something else? Our infrastructure is from the 1950s. Like, we don't have high-speed rail. We don't have socialized healthcare. Can we just move on to that, please?
China's leaving us in the dust.
Yes.
All the kids are taking the cow.
Yes, in every aspect.
Listen, man. Please. I'm not even gonna go on a rant. You're talking about American kids that can't even read right now. They're probably Chinese kids that read in a higher level than American kids in English. So I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Folks have never heard of. I didn't hear about. I know about the cow till BGS made that stream, but there are more pressing issues. Bottom line is, there are more pressing issues than that.
Yes,
I think that what's his name? He said that what's his name? Inside China Business said that there are like 25, 30 nuclear projects under construction right now in China.
Yeah.
And in America, there's not a single one. Like, how? What?
Well, you know,
you want to talk about abortion again?
Yeah, environment protection, you know, all that crap. Even though half of them don't follow it either. So, but you know, anyway.
Yeah, okay. So I shake my head because
let's get back on top.
You know,
AB, this might be one you're interested in, but I got to run. Karine says she did that because the Roe versus Wade case was overturned. Their consultant told them to push that issue because it got the voters out. If you maybe take that and run with that on your platform tonight or whenever you go live again. But
most voters are women.
Yeah.
True.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming up. Passport OG, thank you. Yes, sir. Passport OG, thank you for your continuous hard work on a daily.
Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu.
Translation.
Oh, it's just a pleasantry. This thing. Thank you for. It's like it can't really translate it, but yoroshiku onegai itashimasu is just a very pleasant way of saying I appreciate the compliment.
Okay. Hey man, it's well deserved. It's very well deserved.
Sorry about your coach.
Oh yeah, that's another. We got a pretty good basketball team this year. I'm going to see them play tonight. Instead of tonight's conversation in Baltimore.
All right. Oh, so you said you're going to see them play. That means they must be playing.
They're playing Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. The
Basketball.
Terps. Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a good one, Doc.
All right.
Enjoy the game.
All right.
And I'll catch you soon enough.
All right. Sounds good. Hey man, I might on my other channel like to do two. There are two that I really want to do. If you want to come on and review those together in the next 2 weeks,
Let me know.
All right.
Hey, give me a heads up, especially during the Christmas holidays. It'll be fantastic.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, be good.
All right, peace. All right, everybody, I gotta run. I'm gonna go try to get my last bike ride in for 2025. We're getting up to 45 degrees. There's no ice out, so this is reasonable biking weather. So, and then I'm going to a basketball game later on. Everybody, thank you for watching. If you're on the replay gang, please let me know what you think about any of this. Filters, technology, self-esteem, assessing one's value, and then toward the end, AB Media pulled us into politics. No, I think we were already, me and Passport OG were talking about abortion before AB hopped up. So, quick advertising, guys. Kareen, thank you for getting a copy of my book. Kareen was one of the first purchasers, but if you're looking for a gift for someone this holiday season, consider my book. I'm selling signed hard copies here for $27 and the paperback for $22. Just use one of those methods there in the ticker. This is available on Amazon. You can also go to my online store. I'm going to drop the link here. And then I'm going to skedaddle. My online store is here. You can find it through the page on my site. And right now I have an active coupon code, which is Go Blue, which comes from my much beleaguered university right now. So with that, everyone, hey, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will probably try to do one more of these before the year is up. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, probably in 2 weeks, because, well, let me be discreet. Probably in 2 weeks. So look out for that. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. And hey, let me give Passport OG a digital applause. I didn't give him his flowers when he was here. And those of you who came to my channel and hung out in my chat on a Saturday morning, here's an applause for you too. All right, everyone, take care. I'll talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.